Welcome back, Talking Books and Authors right now. Today we're welcoming an upstate New York author who is taking her passion for cooking from the plate to the pages in her new memoir, The Call of the Farm. Rochelle Bilow joins us in studio now to talk about her book and her experience in the culinary world of New York City and beyond. You have a really interesting story, Rochelle. You went to culinary school, grew up in Syracuse, went to culinary school in New York City, worked as a line cook there. Found out it wasn't really for you.
Got my butt kicked.
And somehow ended up in a farm back in the Syracuse area, living and working there as a cook for a year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was, after I left the restaurant world, I started to think about a career in food writing. You know, I had gone to culinary school. I knew I wanted to be involved in food in some way, but line cooking just wasn't for me. So I was freelance writing, and I was a little bit adrift. I wasn't quite, you know, making it happen. And Edible Finger Lakes magazine assigned a short story for me to profile a small full diet farm in central New York. Full diet means that they grow and produce everything you need for a balanced diet, like meat, milk, eggs, and veggies. And
so you really never have to leave if you're
you
living
never have to leave.
There's no reason.
And so I found myself on this farm walking around with the farmer, and I just kind of like fell in love with it immediately, and I realized I wanted to spend more time there. So I kept coming back as a volunteer, and the next thing I knew I was living there, and I had fallen in love with a farmer, and you know, as you do.
What about the farmer made you fall in love at first sight?
Well, he is this really confident, kind of like enigmatic guy, and there was just something about like hard work and like being outside, and I was just like, man, I like should get into this whole farming thing. And you know, we had a whirlwind relationship, and it was hugely romantic. You know, like picnics outside, watching the cows graze. So it was a really romantic period in my life, and one of incredible hard work, too. And
that's exactly what you detail in the book. When you first decided to live on the farm, did you say, I'm going to dedicate a year of my life to this, or did it just kind of happen that way?
It completely took me by surprise. I had planned on writing a profile, you know, and spending time there, but, you know, I fell hard for not just this farmer, but for the lifestyle and for the food that I got to cook. Like, you haven't cooked until you've cooked vegetables that you just picked. Like, it's, as someone who cares about food, it's like catnip. It was so exciting. And then I just found myself, you know, a year later, I realized a year had passed, and I was still on the farm.
You put the whole experience in this book, and since this year has passed and you've released the book, where are you now in life?
So now I'm living in Brooklyn. Not that many farms there. I'm growing a few small herbs in a pot on my window. But I work for, it's something. I work for Bon Appetit magazine now. And so a little bit of a change. It's, you know, it's a dream job as a food writer. I am so lucky to have landed there. I work with great people and get to do work that's really challenging, but I do wish I had some chickens.
What kind of pieces do you do for the magazine? Do you ever get to write about farming now?
I do, actually. So I am the staff writer for bonappetit.com. So if you head over to bonappetit.com, you can read, you know, any story I write runs the gamut. We'll talk about farming and seasonal cooking, interviews with chef, cooking, you know, with local ingredients, and food trends. So it's fun. It keeps me on my toes. But yeah, that's what I'm up to now.
And what you're up to in Buffalo is you'll be at the Larkin Author Series tonight. Yes. It starts at 5:30, I believe. Yep. What will the evening be like?
It'll be a conversation about cooking with the seasons. You know, I really didn't know what it was like to cook seasonally. I thought I did because I, you know, knew tomatoes were better in August, but, you know, I still like bought them in December. So we'll be talking about like the real logistics of what it means to eat local and to choose sustainable and responsibly grown produce and meat and milk. And so we'll be talking about that, and I'll be reading from the book, and I hear there will be food as well.
I was going to say, I heard that you might be preparing a dish.
I think I might be. So my book also has 20 recipes that I cooked on the farm, and so I think we're making one of those there
for all seasons. The 20 recipes.
Yep. There's so the book is divided into seasons. It starts in spring and ends in spring, and so after each section there are recipes that are seasonally appropriate that I actually cooked on the farm. So they're farmer tested, farmer approved.
All right, that's That's good. That's good enough for us, right? So you really shouldn't be buying tomatoes in December.
You know, my thought is if you want tomatoes in December, you have to preserve them when they're ripe. So can them or freeze them, and then, you know, then you can have the good stuff. But like if you've ever bought a tomato in December, it's just not as good.
Taste right. No.
It's like not worth it.
Okay, all right. These are the kind of tips that you'll pick up tonight at the Larkin Author Series, 5:30 at the filling station right in Larkin Square. Thanks so much for coming and talking farming, romance, and all of it. We appreciate it. And best of luck at Bon Appetit.
Thank you so much.
And tonight. All right, let's toss over to Emily Lanahan now. It's time for our